Today we're stepping inside a story from what's known as India's most haunted location, Bhangarh Fort. This is a place where even the government tells you not to enter after dark, and we're about to hear from someone who found out exactly why.
This whole account comes from an explorer who did the one thing you're forbidden to do. She stayed in Bhangarh after the sun went down. And what she claims happened that night, well, it completely blurs the line between a spooky old legend and a very real modern-day nightmare.
So, how does a night like this even begin? Well, like a lot of horror stories, it all starts with a rule that you know you probably shouldn't break, right at the edge of twilight. And look, this isn't just local folklore. We're talking about the Archaeological Survey of India, the government putting up signs that officially forbid you from going in after sunset. It's one of those rare cases where the authorities are basically saying, yeah, this place is haunted. The danger here isn't just physical.
So our narrator, she's an experienced guide, and she's faced with this classic problem. You've got 4 college students just buzzing with that mix of fear and excitement, begging her to take them inside just as the sun is setting. Against her better judgment, and yeah, with the offer of some extra cash, she agreed. And that one single decision, well, it set the stage for everything that was about to happen.
As they start to move deeper into the fort, the whole atmosphere just shifts. You know that initial thrill of breaking the rules? It starts to fade pretty fast, and it's replaced by this creeping, undeniable feeling of dread.
The first signs were small things. An unnatural drop in temperature, so sudden that she could actually see her breath fogging up in the air. And then, a sound, faint but so clear. It sounded like a child laughing, and it seemed to be coming from just behind a curtain. But when she turned to look, there was absolutely nothing there.
And that's the moment, isn't it? When your mind just starts racing. Is that just the wind playing tricks on you in these ancient, crumbling corridors? Or is that the sound of something or someone else entirely? The question just kind of hangs there in the cold air. This was the battle going on inside her head. On one side, you have logic, right? The fort's acoustics are probably weird, and wind can create some bizarre sounds. But on the other side, her gut, her intuition was just screaming that the feeling of being watched was real. It was that moment where rational thought just starts to fall apart.
The atmosphere just got way too intense for the students. Their fear was, you could almost touch it. So the narrator did the responsible thing and escorted them out. But then she made this crucial choice. She decided to go back in. Her need to figure out what was happening was just too strong. And now she was completely on her own. Now, with all the distractions gone, it's almost like the fort decided it was done whispering and was ready to start showing her what it was hiding. The experience was about to become terrifyingly visual. Standing in an old courtyard, she saw them, and not just shadows, but actual figures. Translucent women in these white gowns, just moving through the ruins. They looked like they were dancing, but there was no music, and their faces had this disturbing mix of joy and just deep, deep sadness. But the way they moved, it wasn't natural. It was jerky, like watching a movie with a bunch of missing frames.
As she's just standing there, frozen, trying to process this silent dance, the whole thing becomes intensely personal. A voice, clear as day, whispers directly into her ear. There was no one there, but the message was absolutely unmistakable.
And then, the true horror of the night showed itself. At the far end of a long hallway, a new shape started to form. It was tall, dark, and sort of see-through, but its eyes were this piercing, glowing red. It didn't make a sound. It just started moving towards her, silently and unstoppably. The chase had begun.
So she's running from this red-eyed figure, but she was drawn towards something else. Not another threat, but a different kind of spirit. One that felt like it had a story it needed to tell.
In all the chaos, she saw a new figure. It was a woman dressed in these ancient royal clothes. And unlike the others, this spirit felt sorrowful, not menacing. It beckoned to her, and she felt this pull she couldn't explain, so she followed it, deeper into the heart of the fort.
As she followed, the world around her just dissolved. The crumbling stones reassembled themselves into a magnificent palace. She was literally witnessing Bhangarh in its prime, full of music and torchlight. Then, a dark sorcerer appeared, casting the shadow over the whole court, and the vision just exploded into fire and screams. The palace burned, people panicked, and just as quickly as it started, it all vanished, leaving her standing alone in the ruins again. She had just witnessed the fort's final violent moments.
As the vision faded,
That dark, red-eyed figure was there again. But this time, it spoke, not with a mouth, but directly into her mind. A voice made of hundreds of pained whispers, and it had only one word, one single demand: liberation. The spirits weren't just haunting this place, they were trapped, and they were desperate.
As the first light of dawn broke through the ruins, the apparitions just faded away. She managed to escape the fort, but as she was about to find out, leaving Bhangarh didn't mean Bhangarh was done with her.
Now, this is where it gets really unsettling. She's safe outside the fort, and she checks her phone. And there's a photograph on it that she has absolutely no memory of taking. It was a picture of the vision, the queen, the vibrant palace, and standing right there in the middle of this ancient court, clear as day, was the narrator herself.
And the experience didn't end at the fort's gates. The haunting followed her home. Every single night, at the exact same time, her room goes ice cold. Her phone turns on all by itself, always open to that impossible photograph. And worse, she started to notice the photo was changing. More dark shadows are appearing in the background with each passing day.
This whole terrifying account really offers its own set of warnings, doesn't it? First, listen to the official signs. They exist for a reason. Second, you have to trust your intuition when it's screaming at you. Third, be careful what you document in a place like this, because you might capture way more than you can see. And finally, some souvenirs can follow you home. Which brings us to the really terrifying conclusion of her story. She kept watching that photo, obsessed with it, tracking the new shadows that appeared each night, until one night she saw the latest addition. The newest shadow to appear in that cursed photograph of the past was her. It had her face. And this is the question we're left with. Was she just a witness to a haunting, or is she now becoming a part of it? It's a chilling thought that suggests some stories don't just want to be told, they want to add you to their pages.